Welcome to the 2024 Radio Free Skaro Fluid Links Advent Calendar, where we do one Fluid Link a day, a question or a comment submitted by you, the listener. We asked on all the social media platforms across the internet this year to try and gather some. It's almost like more of a litmus test as to which one people are using. I would say Blue Sky is the new favorite, but we'll still take them from wherever you want. But so happy holidays, happy December. Are you ready for the first Fluid Link? Because here it is. Hi, Warren and Chris. How you doing?
Hello.
Yeah, there we go. Just to make sure it was like for a second there. I thought just in case the audience was the one that was going to have to answer this. But you can answer at home if you want. Here it is. First Fluid Link from Stuff and Nonsense on Instagram. If you could go back in time and had the persuasive power to have one story from each of the first 7 Doctors filmed completely on 16mm film, which stories would you pick so we could today enjoy them in full HD on Blu-ray?
That's a toughie.
Can you do HD from 16 mil? I know you can do it from 35.
You can get it from you can get HD, but you can't get 4K. 4K is 35.
Yeah,
mil.
4K is 35.
4K is
16
35.
is HD. Yeah,
Is
that's
HD.
Okay.
more or less.
This is fascinating to me because not only do I want to pick a story, but I want to pick the circumstances for which the story was made into 16mm film. It's that kind of thing.
You go first.
Well, I mean, I already know what my 4th Doctor story is going to be.
Okay.
Do we want to go sequential? I mean, there's a lot.
Let's go sequentially.
It's a big one to start it, but this is kicking off, kids. Look at this. What a start. What a start. Yeah.
Let me guess. Master Plan?
No,
wouldn't be my choice, but I mean, I can see people making that choice.
I suppose so. I mean, it did have some film on it. Here's the thing, though. Here's an even more exciting thing that you think about it. So, back leading up until The Abominable Snowman, the beginning of the season 5 block, if you will, everything on location and at Ealing was shot on 35mm. So historically, I think we have to actually have the first Doctor stories be on 35mm film.
Well, we can just change it to 35 if we want to. What the hell?
Well, no, it is. No, Warren, I'm giving you historical precedence.
Sure, but I'm saying on stuff that isn't, we can too. Like, say, the 4th Doctor.
Nope, absolutely not. Absolutely, we are adhering to history. What we demand, Warren, are rigidly defined boundaries of doubt and uncertainty.
Of make-believe.
That's what we're doing here.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because of that, because they actually shot on 35mm in the Hartnell days, that story gets to be 35mm. Pick one.
Right. Well, I have one. Okay. One. I want to put, and I might be getting the name wrong, but the Web Planet, the one with all the crazy costumes and what have you.
That's the one.
Because I want to see all the hard work. People put a ton of hard work and imagination in those costumes.
They did.
And it's kind of cheated by the fact that it's black and white SD. So let's see that in glorious 35mm. Maybe in color if they filmed it that way and then changed it. Who knows? Or in black and white, whichever. And if they're going to do it black and white, then lit for black and white.
Well, that's one vote for a Richard Martin story.
Yeah, that's the thing.
This is about the visuals. This is about the visuals, and that's what that's all about. So
yeah. I mean, there is a chunk of filming already on that, especially in episode 5 for
there is
What Planet.
Is it easier or harder to put Vaseline on a lens for a 35mm camera?
For film
cameras of Star Trek
versus a studio camera.
I'm going to say it's easier on a film camera. Than it is
because you can replace the lenses as opposed to having stuck there.
Exactly.
Which is what Nikigami or some similar would be.
Yeah, I like that one. I like the Web Planet. I like that. I think it would be all right. But it is still directed by Richard Martin's film stuff isn't that bad.
Who cares? It's all about the visuals. That's why we're doing this. So
look at that. So because
as we've said before, Richard Martin was let down by his ambition, or rather,
this is giving him a little more fuel. So
yeah. Maybe.
All right. Well, there we go. Web Planet. Somehow they ran out of space in Riverside Studios in 1965, and they had to go shoot it on film at Shepperton or something like that. Why not? Yep.
Or Pinewood or something.
Are we each picking one, or are we settling on one collectively?
Well, you got to. I like the Web Planet. I like Warren's idea of the Web Planet. You got a different one, Chris? What do you think?
I just want the Massacre back, so I want to say the Massacre.
Okay, Massacre it is. I
Sure.
mean, assuming that indeed that they kept it, of course, too. But hey, they kept Spearhead from Space, so you know, you would think they would just keep the film reels if they had them. So okay, yeah, I'd be game with the Massacre too. They also had some pre-filming on that too because of Hartnell being in two different roles. So all right, I would take either. Massacre or Web Planet. Troughton. So you can choose a season 4 story that would be in 35 mil, but they've switched to 16 millimeter film and for the purposes of this exercise from the Abominable Snowman onwards. So I know which one I'm taking right now.
I'll go for it.
Well, obviously it's the Space Pirates because
of course it is.
Because of course the Space Pirates. Because we can't see the Space Pirates, and the one episode that they have was actually recorded on 35 mil because they didn't have a tape machine ready in the thing, so they had to record it on 35 mil, and it looks and sounds great when it's vid fired. So we're already 1/6 of the way there with 35.
I think you guys are bending the rules just to bring missing episodes back, whereas I'm trying to actually say what would be improved by being on 35 mil or 16 or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, Warren.
Which is fine. You can do either or. But I'm going to stick to my mandate. And I think I would take something like probably it'd be kind of cool to see Tomb of the Cybermen all on film. I think that'd be a cool
35 mil. That was the last story shot on 35 mil.
I'm just trying to think of what are the more cinematic stories, and that's kind of one of them.
Right.
Or if you're shooting in 16 mil, I'd like to see Web of Fear because all that underground stuff would be good and grainy as hell and scarier. That's got to be black and white though. Still,
yeah, and there's a lot of stuff on. I mean, most of that is on film anyway. I think there's a good chunk of stuff shot at Ealing.
But yeah, Tomb of Cybermen, it'd be nice to have that zhuzhed up into 35 for everything.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool actually. Chris, you got it? You got one? I like either of those. We don't have to land on one specific one, but. What do you think, Chris?
Well, I don't know that I'd pick the Space Pirates. I don't know.
I'd be willing to watch an HD upres of Tomb of the Cybermen instead of the Space Pirates. Okay,
how dare you?
I will concede that. How
dare you?
No, I would be. I'd rather. I think if given a choice, I would. Yeah.
Okay. I rescinded that.
Thank you.
Man, I don't know. That's a tough one. Because my knee-jerk reaction for the first two Doctors is just to pick something that's missing, just to have it back in the
Yeah, I know.
Back in the archive, like the Highlanders, perhaps. But I expect the Highlanders was probably a lot of film in the first place.
There was some at Ealing and Water Tank. I don't know if it was shot at Ealing. I can't remember where that Water Tank stuff was shot, but yeah, there's some film stuff there. Yeah, but like I said, that would rely on people keeping it as well, which was not the style at the time.
Well, that wasn't dismissed as a condition or a rule.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Upres HD Tomb of the Cybermen does sound very alluring, though.
Does sound pretty cool. Okay, we'll go with that one.
I think I'll stick with that one. Yeah.
We've already got Spearhead but is there another Pertwee story?
Well, I was trying to think of what the most cinematic one would be, and in terms of color and stuff happening, I think Carnival Monsters would be great on film and like really rich 70s Fujifilm type stuff.
Lots of film on Carnival.
I know, but I just like to see the whole thing sort of. We're assuming if it's shot on film, it's going to be shot a certain way that isn't multicam videotape. So I want to see that inherently as part of the treatment of it. It makes it sort of a mini movie. So I'd like to see Carnival of Monsters as a mini movie with really rich colors.
Some of
70s
the stuff,
lighting.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff in Carnival involving like Drashigs, for example, that shot on video probably would look a lot better on film.
It would.
Yeah, but I just want the whole thing to look better on film. Just because you'd see, it would look like Willy Wonka or something, like one of the 70s Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
That kind of look it would really fit it. So that's what I'm kind of going for here.
I see this. Yeah, because you would think that, what if we had, because we're on 16 mil now. We're firmly in 16 mil territory. But I bet you Invasion. They shot all those dinosaurs on film anyway.
Yeah.
That wouldn't look any better.
A bunch of them were on video.
There's a bunch on video as well.
There are some on video.
Those are the best ones.
Yeah, but lots of it is on film that they tried to superimpose on video. It did not work.
Nope. Good points for trying.
Yep.
I would love a like nice beautiful, gorgeous ambassadors of death. But
I was going to say Ambassadors
Oh, that's
of
a good
Death.
one too. Yeah,
But Michael
that's
Ferguson
really
directs
the
that
atmosphere fits for that. Yeah,
Yeah, but Ferguson. I mean, the stuff that's on film is amazing already.
yeah,
I have a secondary one. I would
Okay.
like to see. I would like to see, just to see them try to do it, Claws of Axos, because it depends so utterly on video effects. It's like if you've ever seen 200 Motels by Frank Zappa, which basically the only way for him to pull this off
Right.
was to shoot it all on video in a studio
Yeah.
and then transfer that onto film, because there was no way to make all those film effects with all the psychedelic stuff he wanted to do. So that's kind of what I want to see them have to do for Claws of Axos. Like they'd have to do all this video stuff and then transfer it to film.
So it's basically shot like Cheers was, or Seinfeld, like basically shot with
No, those are shot
multicam.
on film. Those are straight up shot on film.
Oh, yeah, that's right, that's right,
But
yeah.
it's multicam, yes.
It's multicam, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to finalize my answer as Planet of the Spiders.
That's a good one too for zhuzhing it up.
You know what?
Obviously, there's a lot of film. There's a lot of film stuff with all the vehicles and the chases and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But thinking of things like The Village on Metabolus 3, for example, and how hokey it looks as a studio set, and how they maybe with lighting or whatever they could have made it look a lot better on film.
100%. There it is. That's
sure.
the one.
Yeah.
That's the one for me, I think, is Planet of the Spiders. Yeah. And a fitting end. John Burt was here, too, so.
Yeah, that too.
I have, so my fourth Doctor one is this, and there's a scenario to it. It is that it would be Shada, because the strikes canceled the
studio
thing
stuff.
after the first studio stuff. So they said, let's kind of like Spirit from Space at the beginning of the decade. Let's go and just shoot it all, the rest of it all on film again. We go and just do it on location. So the whole thing exists as a 16 millimeter film thing. You're already a third of the way there with all the location stuff they did shoot. Why didn't they do that? Damn it. Well, they probably couldn't. There's probably unions involved and stuff like that. But that's what I would want to see. Failing that Sontaran experiment, all on location anyway.
Not a bad one.
Why
Well,
not
that's
shoot that
OB
at
video
16?
though, but you like how that looks.
That's the
OB
thing.
video.
I do like the OB video though.
So I would go just a smidgen earlier and say Robot.
Robot on film. I would also
Just because I think of things like the Action Man tank and the scene where the robot grows and some of the other really ropey CSO in that if they could make it look better on film, pretty it up, I'd be okay with that.
right. There's a lot of ones there. Warren, what do you think? What do you got? You got one?
Well, I'm going for the easy one here, and I'm trying to think of a better one. The City of Death would be great. I mean, it's a lot's on film anyway, but it just really lends itself to, especially with the time it came out, 1979. It lends itself to being a big sort of comedic spy thriller, all on film kind of a thing.
Right, yeah,
So they're definitely that, and also it lends itself to the colorfulness of it. I'm trying to think of another one that would be improved by being on film, and I'm for whatever reason hitting a wall. I'm sure there's tons of them. I did think of Logopolis. I think Logopolis, if you took all the stuff on Logopolis and made that weird and mysterious and filmish, and the stuff with the satellite dish, all this, there's a bunch of stuff on them screwing around on the highway, which is already on film. But if you can have it all look, and there's a certain glumness to that isn't on video. So it'd be kind of cool to carry on that atmosphere via film, via weird sets that you can shoot in a different way with Logopolis, where it's obviously on a set, all the rest of it, right? I just think it would work a lot better on film overall.
Yeah.
I don't know if the budgetary constraints and such would.
Well, we're
still
throwing
make
those out the window for the.
would
sake
still
of
make
this
it
experiment,
impossible, or taking it if taking it out of the video like television center or whatever
I
would
think
make
part of
it
this-
better.
yeah.
But how about Underworld?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But the thing
here
about
we
Underworld
go.
is so interesting because of what they had to do. Right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But you're not wrong either. Like it would be if it was made like a Jason and the Argonauts kind of a film from the '60s. That'd be cool.
like what's his face film?
Ray Harryhausen kind of
Harryhausen, yeah.
animation in the
Can you imagine
background.
Warriors Gate on film? That would be nuts. I don't know. Like Warriors Gate is so loopy, it kind of makes sense for it to be on video.
Yeah, I know.
frankly.
Some stories just fit with video. You know what I mean? Like it'd be
Yeah,
a
and that's
shame
one
just-
of them. It just putting that on film kind of misses the point.
Yeah, I think so. God, there's lots of options there. Lots of options there for.
Well, it doesn't help that the Fourth Doctor had the most stories.
That's true.
Yeah, too. Yeah,
Also
yeah.
true.
But I'm avoiding my standard go-tos like Deadly Assassin or whatever. Like,
you don't love
yeah,
Mars.
that'd be cool, but whatever. I should find something else.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, Deadly Assassin, think of all the stuff that was shot in the Matrix that was on film.
It was all on film anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Gallifrey on film would be cool. Like we've already seen that, I guess, in the new era. But
yeah. Any story that requires the viewer to think that this studio set, this videotape studio set, is an outdoor thing, is kind of like Brain of Morbius. I think would fit well on film.
Yeah. Planet of Evil. Although Planet of Evil was pretty damn cool anyway. So.
Yeah, but then they switched to the video version of the set, and it's like,
yeah,
this isn't how you got it anymore. You know,
how about that sword fight between Third Doctor and the Master? You could just paper over that one bit where it's not video and back and forth.
True. Use the video disc for it. Before we spend 2 hours on this one, Peter Davison.
Time flight.
I thought of that at first. Well, Chris, you tell me why first, and I'll tell you what mine is.
Because it looks so terrible. I mean,
Yes.
okay, again, there's a good chunk of film stuff, but there's also...
But then when it stops being on film...
There's also the stock footage stuff as well, which kind of, icks it up a bit. But yeah, things like on Zarathus, that set looks like 60s Star Trek
Yeah.
alien planet.
Which is what I hated about
Which was
Star
on
Trek
film,
when
by the
I was a
way.
kid.
So-
Yeah, but it had that look to it, that artificial.
I
look
loved
to
it. I love that weird whine in the background. I loved everything about
never
it.
liked
but
it.
we're going to agree to disagree on that. I have two of them, unless
Okay.
you're not done, Chris.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
that's a good one.
First off, I'd love to see and bear in mind we're jacking up the budget for this.
Mm.
I'd love to see Enlightenment done so you could do justice to the ships in space. So it's kind of like Master and Commander level shooting. Of
The
Enlightenment.
rejiggered visual effects on the Blu-ray really bridge that gap. Yeah.
Okay, but I would kind of like to see all that on 35 or 16 millimeter film. And the other one is Kinda, because for all the weird hallucinatory stuff, imagine doing that with like old school. Like, have you ever seen Beyond the Black Rainbow, which is all about 60s weird psychedelic film, and it's all shot on 35.
But even all
that
the,
kind
even
of
all
stuff.
all the jungle stuff for Kinda that's shot on video in the studio.
That too,
looks
but I would just want to see the
terrible.
weird hallucinatory stuff done on film, like
Yeah.
just and really go to town on how weird in 60s it might be.
Like they did in Snake Dance for a lot of the Mars.
Yeah,
stuff.
but then to throw that in on film too. Like, what the hell? I'd just like to see what they could do with a proper film crew.
Yeah.
Not to deride the people who shot this thing, because I'm sure they're doing as best they can with the tools they had. But it'd be cool to see a film approach to that whole idea.
Going, based on just what was happening at the time, I feel like given that it was a one-off special, I feel like the 5 Doctors probably could have been made on 16 mil, the entire thing. 90-minute special, like 20 episode, and it's all on film, baby. Happy 20th
And a chunk
anniversary.
of it is, so yeah.
Yeah, and Wales and stuff. It'd be kind of interesting to see that too. But Kinda, going back to my earlier point about studio jungles just not looking convincing at all, and film Kinda, filmda.
Yeah.
That'd be the one.
Mostly for me for the hallucinatory stuff, but otherwise, and the snake would look a hell of a lot better on film too.
That's true. You'd be able
Be
to
Lair of
cut
the
around
White
it.
Worm type stuff.
And just to move things along, I think the a reasonably obvious choice for the 6th Doctor for the same reason would be Time Lash.
Yeah.
I suppose.
I mean, Mark of the Ronnie got an added week of filming because of a BBC paperwork snafu. So John Nathan Turner snapped up that film unit, and it looks so great. Mark of the Ronnie is just so gorgeous that you're already there. What's that?
I would love to see Vengeance and Veros, and it's shot like 1984 from 1984, like really moody as hell and oppressive, and way more like, because I get where they're going with Vengeance and Veros, but if you had that on film and you could make it so moody and almost film noir, it'd be great. Like, that'd be really. I mean, I don't know if it'd be any better, but it would be more interesting to look at. That's for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I see your point with Time Lash, Chris. I don't think there's any saving that story. So
that still sucks.
Let's have a better story beyond film.
I'm not here to save it. I'm just here to make it look better.
I know.
In order to save the village, I had to destroy it.
Just like for 7th Doctor, I'm going to say Dragonfire for exactly the same reason.
Oh yeah, I could see that because it does look a little tinsely, kind of like Time Lash. Yeah, I like Dragonfire. I'm trying to think here.
One of the tougher parts of 7th Doctor stuff is all location stuff basically was shot on OP video.
It was.
So I mean, you could take something like Fenric, which had was all location, and you could really zhuzh it up.
You really.
I'm going to go for Greatest Show in the Galaxy because it is ropey as hell looking, and
Right.
it would be so much improved, and you could make it much more spooky and not silly.
Yeah.
I know you guys would say otherwise, but
No.
I think it would be so much more oppressively moody, which is what I think it's going for, and a surreal and absurd, which is all it's also going for if it's on film.
I sense a trend here, one, in that you're going like the more surreal and absurd stuff, like Kinda and Carnival of Monsters. And,
Well, it's more like stuff that lends itself to weird cinematic experiments than anything else, right? So,
yeah. So, despite all our love for videotape Doctor Who, we would like to see most of it shot on film. I think is what we're sort of,
for the purposes of this question, sure.
yeah, kind of what it is. Oh well, that's how we do Fluid Links, I guess.